If we could, let's go ahead and have everyone take your seat, and if we have someone that could go ahead and get our door shut, we'll go ahead and get natural resources underway. If you'll join me at this time, we're going to have Senator Turner lead us in prayer, and then we'll go straight into the Pledge of Allegiance.
In our heart, please, Lord, we thank you for being able to be here today. We thank you for all the blessings you bestow upon us. We ask you to guide and direct us as we conduct every meeting, not just this meeting. Lead us, show us the way, so that everything we do may be pleasing to you. In your name we ask.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Before I have the clerk call the roll, do we have any members that have special guests that they'd like to introduce, or any comments or statements to make at this time? Okay, seeing none, I'll ask the clerk to call the roll.
Senator Chambers Armstrong. Senator Carpenter. Senator Mills.
Here.
Senator Schickel. Senator Southworth. Senator Webb. Senator Westerfield. Senator Wheeler. Senator Williams. Senator Turner. And Chair Smith.
Present.
You have a quorum.
We have a quorum. I need a motion for our minutes. Have a motion. Second. All those in favor of the sign of aye. Opposed likewise. The minutes have been approved. At this time, I'll go ahead and ask Senator Thayer to go ahead and come to the table. We'll let him present his bills. And anyone you wish to have with you, please have them join you and then identify themselves for our records.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. Damon Thayer, District 17.
Judge.
Joe Covington, Scott County Judge Executive.
I'm Ellen Call, Associate Vice President of State Government Affairs for Charter Communications.
Dalton Workman, Director, State Government Affairs for Charter Communications.
All right, very good. Well, Senator, we'll turn it over to you and listen to what you have to say.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. You're all very well aware that over the past few years, the General Assembly has made broadband deployment a major priority from the leadership of Representative Philip Pratt and Chairman Jason Petrie. They've sent over several good bills relating to broadband to the Senate that we've passed. We are also the beneficiary of receiving a significant amount of money with a limited time frame, I may note, called a BEAD grant. And then there's also state money that we have put into the project. In Scott County, we've been very fortunate under the leadership of our Judge Executive, Joe Covington, that Charter has started its statewide build-out for increased broadband access under the leadership of Ellen Call, Dalton Workman, and their team of workers. They've done a terrific job in getting broadband built out in Scott County. We've sort of been the test case for a lot of your counties where broadband is coming to next. And because this is a newer form of a utility, we've had some stops and starts. And while we are nearing the final build-out phase, and I'll let Judge Covington talk about that, it's not been without its challenges. In order to get this broadband build-out, Charter has to have access to utility poles. And so we've had some issues with pole attachments. Everybody wants to cooperate and be a part of the plan, but I think it's time for us to urge the Public Service Commission to work with a little more alacrity, if you will, when it comes to approving pole attachments. So, and you all know I don't like to file many bills. I did file a bunch of shell bills yesterday that you're all welcome to if you need them, but let's remember we are the party of small government, Mr. Chairman. There, commercial over. So the fact that I filed Senate Joint Resolution 175, I hope is a signal to all of you how important I think it is. This Senate Joint Resolution directs the Public Service Commission to promulgate emergency regs pursuant to KRS Chapter 13A on utility pole attachments no later than 45 days after the effective date of the resolution that shall at a minimum remove any pole attachment related impediments to deployment of broadband service throughout the Commonwealth. And this is, trust me, this is going to be important to you in your districts, to your constituents very soon as we move forward with this broadband deployment. So I'm going to turn it over to my guests here to talk a little bit more about the situation.
So thank you for having me today. I'm Joe Pat Covington. I'm county judge in Scott County. And in January of 21, we hired a consultant, CTC Technology, to assist the physical court and put us on a path to extend connectivity in our county. They did a walkout survey. We thought that was very critical, that we know the true data, who has what and who does not. And in May of 21, we issued an RFP. And then in July of 21, we awarded that to Charter Spectrum. And it took a while to put that plan together and design. By October 21, we had reached a deal with Spectrum to move forward. And then in May of 22, the start of submissions for applications for pole attachments started. So fast forward all the way around to July of 23. In July of 23, we had only received, or we'd only been able to submit 35% of our applications. Now, I want to frame this as we have almost 8,000 poles in our project. This is a large countywide project. We are kind of the test pilot. And I want to make everyone clear that KU, Spectrum, Bluegrass Energy, and Owen Electric have all been fantastic professional partners. We were learning how to move this forward as we went forward together. So at that point, we only had about 35% submitted. We started agreeing to meet weekly and just doing an update call, trying to put everyone on the same page. And since then, things have moved along quite well. As of now, we have just a small number of poles that need applications approved for attachment. Charter Spectrum and KU have worked collaboratively to do a high volume agreement that I think will be productive. I still think one of the things that's an impediment to moving the process to get forward is money. And it's always about money. And it's being able to streamline the payment process for the work that needs to be done. When you discover that there has to be make-ready work done on a pole, or a pole has to be replaced, then an invoice needs to be sent to have that paid, and then that check has to be cut. Then it has to go back. And in my opinion, if we could streamline that as well, that would be very helpful. But I do want to say that, as of today, we have over 4,000 homes that did not have connectivity to high-speed broadband. They have access now in Scott County. By the time this is done, hopefully in the next 2 or 3 months, we'll have over 6,000 homes that will have access that did not have access several months ago. So I'm very proud of the work we've done. I'm very thankful for KU, Bluegrass Energy, Owen Electric, and Charter for the work. But I would say that anything we could do as far as Senator Thayer's leadership on this initiative, I would ask you to consider that.
I should thank you, Judge. His leadership has been great for Scott County, and I should point out that as one of the fastest growing counties in Kentucky, Scott County has a lot of densely populated areas which are easier to deploy broadband. We have a lot of rural areas as well. But as this project grows out into the state, we're trying to get into the rural areas where it's going to take a little longer time because you don't have the dense population that we have in Scott County. So another reason for trying to expedite this as this deployment moves out into other parts of the state. Now I think my former Jiminy Cricket is here, Mr. Chairman, and I believe he wants to say something now.
Try not to blush. Thank you, Senator Thayer and Judge Covington. As mentioned already, we are living extraordinary times here in Kentucky history when it comes to broadband expansion and deployment. When you add up money from both public and private investments, we will soon have over $2 billion in broadband construction activity across Kentucky. So that's exciting news for historic expansion in all of your communities around the state, and that's the good news. However, as been discussed already, here's some of the alarming news. All this broadband construction is flooding all of our poll owners across the state with an unprecedented volume of permit requests. As you may know, as it's already been mentioned, we require permits for attachment across the state when we're building out broadband in your communities. There are overwhelming number of requests is severely straining the resources for our poll owners. We currently have submitted requests to over 15 owners across the state, and those poll owners have over 54,000 polls currently outstanding. Of that number, over 18,000 of those poll permits have been waiting for over a year to be approved.
Dalton, thank you. And our calculations show that if nothing changes, that these permitting delays will dramatically slow down our efforts to expand broadband into rural communities. In fact, if nothing changes, we project that these permitting delays will extend the build-out timeline to over 10 years. And I think we can all agree that that's completely unacceptable. As you all may know, the PSC is aware of these issues, and they have held stakeholder meetings with broadband providers and poll owners since early January. A third meeting is scheduled in the next few days. We believe the PSC has the ability and the subject matter expertise to have a very positive impact on this serious problem. This resolution will help bring an expedited solution to this growing impediment to broadband expansion for your constituents. Thank you.
Do we have any further comments at this time, questions that you'd like to have asked? Seeing none, Senator, would you like for us to go ahead and call the roll for you?
Just one point, the small telecoms have come up with a suggested change relating to the reporting of their tariffs, and I will agree with that going forward, but I'd like to get this out of the Senate this week and get it over to the House, and they can do the changes over there, but I did want to note that. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
All right, very good. So we have a motion, a second. I'll have the clerk call the roll.
Senator Chambers Armstrong. Senator Carpenter. Senator Mills.
Aye.
Senator Schickel. Senator Southworth.
Aye.
Senator Turner. Senator Webb. Senator Westerfield. Senator Wheeler. Senator Williams. Chair Smith.
I vote aye. I'm going to yield back to Senator Turner to cast his vote.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I'm voting aye, and I appreciate the good sense for bringing this. It really is going to affect Eastern Kentucky and all the states, so thank you very much.
All right, very good. The motion to approve Senate Joint Resolution 175 is found favorable with the expression the same shall pass. Congratulations on getting this out and good speed with it on the Senate floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate you moving the resolutions quickly, and thank you, members, for your support.
Very good. This next bill is mine, so I want to make sure all my members know who you're voting for on this one. At this time, I'll ask Kate Wood and a few other guests to come up to the table, and then I'll have them introduce themselves for our records.
Good afternoon. I'm Kate Wood Hall. I'm representing Republic Services. I'm a consultant with them.
Todd Pryor with Republic Services.
Rusty Kress on behalf of a multitude of clients, but National Waste and Recycling Association at this point.
Very good. Thanks for joining us. Let me tee this up for our members. The PFAS is going to be something we're going to be talking about for quite some time. What we're attempting to try to achieve with this piece of legislation is to put some sort of a framework in for our industry so that if they have a question or run into a potential conflict for their businesses, they have a segue now to go to the cabinet to be able to ask for advice. And it's very permissive. My two favorite parts of the bill are in the back in section line 4, section 1, where it says, if requested, and shall give guidance to. So it's very permissive. It's if you want to participate into it, you're running into a problem. And we have crossed this bridge, and it put one community in a very difficult spot, and one of our companies in Kentucky in a tough spot, and they needed to know where we stood, so they had to kind of wait until we came in to make a decision. We don't want an action like this to happen again when we're adjourned over the summer, and there could be a very, very important issue and not enough guidance for them to move forward. So that's the purpose of this piece of legislation. And with that said, I'll turn it over to you, Kate, to pick up anything I missed on it.
Thank you, Chairman and members of the committee, for considering this resolution today. Chairman, you did a great job of explaining the impetus of the bill, but it is clear that PFAS is going to be a conversation that's going to be ongoing. The anticipated federal government is anticipating some rules around PFAS, but until those rules are put out there, there's not much guidance on what local communities should and should not do. So what has happened is they're put into a situation where they have to make decisions on what is best practice, and we feel like most local communities do not have the expertise that the cabinet does in this area, and so this provides them an opportunity to ask the cabinet for some guidance. It does not require that the community take that action.
So do we have any questions at this time? Have a motion, a second. Senator Armstrong Mills will yield to you for a question.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I think I heard the answer. I just want to make sure that I'm understanding. So my understanding is the federal government is likely coming out with sort of a more stringent framework around PFAS and how they're regulated. And I think I heard you say nothing about this is designed to in any way work against that. If anything, it's designed to help provide guidance in the interim until we get that from the federal government. But this is not in any way at odds with that work that's happening. Is that correct?
That is correct, yes.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Very good. Any other discussions or questions? At this time, with the motion, a second, I'll ask the clerk to call the roll.
Senator Chambers Armstrong, Senator Carpenter, Senator Mills, Senator Schickel, Senator Southworth, Senator Turner, Senator Webb.
I explained my I vote. I just think, we're in a budget session and we need to be mindful, having been a former employee of a regulatory cabinet. This is, as the chairman says, going to be an ongoing issue. The feds are going to act. We're going to have to respond and then probably do some of our own stuff. But I think we need to make sure that the cabinet of authority and jurisdiction that we're putting this on is going to have the budgetary ability to grow with this issue and to provide the complement of employees that they need to do this. So I think just needed to make that statement and vote yes. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Senator Westerfield, Senator Wheeler, Senator Williams, Chair Smith.
I vote aye. The motion to approve Senate Joint Resolution 149 has been found favorable with the expression that the same shall pass. Thank you all for coming forward.
Thank you,
Thank
Mr.
you,
Chairman.
Mr. Chairman,
A
members.
very important issue, and I appreciate you all helping us with this.
Thank you.
Do we have anything to come before this committee? If not, I need a motion to adjourn.